Hello everyone, this is Dr. Clark, the Center for Weight Loss Success, and I tried to just post this a few minutes ago, so if you got it twice or you hear it twice, I apologize for that. But, okay, this is an update from day 12 of the Jumpstart Diet, and I'm feeling great. Okay, I've done really well. Actually, the weight over the last couple days kind of fell off. I'm actually down 15 pounds now. I feel wonderful. Actually, I feel extremely energized. I was discussing this with my wife last night, and I feel better than I have in a long time, and I've gotten more accomplished over the last week and a half than I've gotten probably accomplished in the last month and a half. And which is pretty amazing. As I'm sleeping better, I wake up well rested, I feel like I have more energy, I feel like I'm thinking clearer, and I shouldn't really be surprised at this because we actually see this occur when people acclimate to using ketones as their energy source. And I actually thought it would take longer than this period of time, and it typically does take longer than this period of time to acclimate to using ketones as an energy source. So what that means is I probably wasn't doing quite as bad as I thought I was doing over the last few months either. But what tends to happen is that as you take away the carbohydrate, which your body will tend to want to, it'll preferentially use carbohydrate if it's given the choice. But if we take away the carbohydrate, then your body will begin using ketones. But it takes some time for really to adapt to using ketones. All those enzyme systems have to be ramped up. And so I see in our patient population, often this can take 4, 5, 6 weeks to really happen till they really get that energy level come back up. But this happened fairly quickly, but I think that's actually what has occurred there is that our body's getting used to using ketones now as an energy source. Typically energy goes up, weight kind of a plummet there for a little bit there as the fat is broken down to ketones, and that's what ketones are. So if those of you don't understand really what I'm talking about, your body can use either glucose, which comes from sugar, carbohydrate, or it can use ketones as an energy source. Ketones come from the breakdown of fat. And so when we're in a weight loss plan, obviously we like to be breaking down fat. So if we take the carbohydrate away, now your body will preferentially start using the ketones as the energy source. You give the carbohydrate back, and it'll go back again using the carbohydrate back as the energy source, and then you subsequently don't lose as much weight. So, okay, once the ketones are really kicking in, your body's got those enzyme systems revved back up. Typically, mental clarity improves, energy level improves, muscle function improves. You feel so much better then. So I think that's really starting to kick in now. So I'm happy for that. So, kind of update you further on, okay, what am I going to do, or what are you going to do if you're doing this Jumpstart Diet? What are you going to do to when you start transitioning off the diet plan? We call it a 2-week Jumpstart Diet. What do you do at the end of 2 weeks? Okay, now, number one is if you're losing weight really well and you're feeling really good, there's no reason you need to transition off it. You can actually continue doing this diet. We call it a 2-week Jumpstart Diet because if I told you to do this for 2 months, you'd look at me like I was crazy. 2 weeks, anybody can do something for 2 weeks, but there's not a reason you have to stop at 2 weeks. You could actually keep going and you don't have to transition off of this. And at the moment, it's like I've kind of lost that I've talked before about, I had this cravings for food, and I'm a carnivore at heart, and I had these cravings that I wanted to do, and I had that one thing of broth, and I was good. And it's like, well, I've stayed good ever since then. Actually, I haven't been thinking about that all the time. Not that I did anyway, but still, it's often we think of what's going to be my first meal. So I'll just update what I think my first meal. I'll probably have bacon and eggs and an omelet in the morning on Sunday. I'll update you before that, just let it go. And I'll also update you after that, how it's going for those few days after. And then in the evening, I'm probably going to grill something. Very likely I'll have a steak. My good friends Tim and Kate gave me some Omaha steaks for my birthday just last month, and I think I'm going to break those out and may have that. Thank you, Tim and Kate. There's a public thank you for you. But anyway, that's what I'm probably going to do, plus then a vegetable and salad. And so what we're really trying to do when we transition off of this is actually kind of replicate what we've done with the diet, meaning that, okay, you don't want to drive your calories too high. You also you want to have a good protein source, the best protein from food, meat, seafood, cheese, and egg, and then kind of fill in with the vegetable salad stuff, which basically are very low carbohydrate foods, nutrient dense, but also fairly low calorie. And so, yeah, I'll have grill something on the grill, a meat portion then, and salad and vegetable, and that'll be good. It'll kind of be a good transition. You just have to watch that you don't drive your calories too high then. Now, if you're at goal weight, then you're going to actually let the calories drift back up. Okay, so I'm probably going to be about as low as I'm going to want to be. So, I'm going to let my calories drift up. But there is going to be a calorie ceiling. Even if you're keeping carbohydrate really low, there will be a calorie ceiling. If you go too high, you'll still gain weight. Now, a good way to transition off of this diet is actually don't give it up completely. Is what you may want to do is use what we refer to as the mini jump start, and it just is using 3 shakes a day, so kind of breakfast, a lunch, a snack, and then having a healthy dinner. And a healthy dinner typically is going to be a protein portion, so a meat portion, either grilled or baked, and subsequently then vegetable salad. And you can actually have a significant vegetable salad portion, and it's still fairly low carbohydrate. You're getting, again, nutrient dense, fairly low calorie there. You have to watch, especially with the meat protein portion, that you don't drive your calories too high. Again, because when we do add that back in, we're actually adding the calories mainly as fat. So it's still low carbohydrate. We're actually in calories back as fat. So sometimes it can be referred to as kind of a low carbohydrate, higher fat diet. I don't really like to call it a higher fat diet because higher fat tends to mean that, hey, we're going to have the calories fairly high, and we're not. So it's still not going to be a tremendous amount of calories from fat. So if you're at goal, you're going to bump the calories out. If you're not at goal, and you want to keep this going, it's like, okay, what we're doing again is replicating the diet with using some food. Okay? And you just have to watch the calories. Typically using all food, they will drift up because the protein shakes are also fairly low calorie. All right, we'll go over that in a little bit more detail sometime in the next couple videos. I will keep you updated before kind of the basically Sunday morning, I think, whether I'll do another. I'll probably do another one Saturday, maybe also on Sunday. Kind of keep you updated what's happening. If you have questions, post them down there. If you have comments, post them down there. If you have topics you'd like me to do these little talks in, I think this is fairly easy for me to do. I just do it, right before I leave the office. And if there are little topics you'd like me to talk about, just send them in either to us, post them on our Facebook, ask the questions, we'll get to them. Thank you all for listening, and have a good evening, and we will talk soon. Take care, everyone.